So Kevin, obviously not the result we were looking for today, losing 3-1 at home to Enfield Town. How do you sum up a result like that, particularly given the volume of chances we were producing?
Yeah, look, when you look at their league position, the reason why they're probably there and we're not picking up as many results as they have over the course of the season is just sort of fine margins. And you look at their second goal and the origin of where it came from the throw-in and things like that. We aren't really creating opportunities or dealing with things like that, and other teams are defending those kind of instances better than us, really. First half, I didn't think we was great first half, but I didn't think they posed too much of a threat, if I'm completely honest. They got the goal from a long throw-in, which is frustrating from us. I think whenever you concede from a set piece, it's frustrating. And then second half, actually I thought we came out second half, started really well and were on top of the game and created some chances. But then they've got a goal out of nothing. It's a great strike from the lads, to be fair. And then we're chasing the game a little bit and we was a little bit open, and then they've got the third for a penalty.
Obviously losing Lawrence in the manner that we lost him in the first half was furthest thing from ideal. Firstly, I don't know if you've heard any update about his condition, and secondly, considering the presence he has on the field for us as a side, it's always going to be tricky to fit things around and to, I suppose, cope without him, especially how he's gone out.
Yeah, it threw us a little bit, if I'm honest, because it was a stage of a game where I don't think it was a change we had necessarily planned for. Usually they're more attacking changes, etc. So, look, I don't know that the medics obviously seeing him now and there. It doesn't look great. It could well be a fractured cheekbone or something along those lines, which would mean he's not going to play again this season, which is obviously a big blow for us, especially considering the situation we're in. But I'll wait for an update late this evening or tomorrow.
Again, I suppose, given the blow, obviously losing Lawrence, then conceding after that, you start to think, is this going to be one of them days? Brilliant play from Jetson to when there's a penalty. Marcel Harrington, when he's on the spot, puts it in the back of the net. And then obviously Jerson's gone off at half time. Was there any injury doubt regarding him, or what was the situation there?
Yeah, he picked up an injury about 35 minutes into the game and was struggling, but we got through to half time. It wasn't one of those games where we could afford to have people on the pitch who couldn't compete at sort of 80, 90, 100%. So we made a second change, or were forced into a second change. But look, that's not an excuse, because we started the second half quite well. We changed the shape a little bit and I felt it was working. But when we had the opportunities, we just didn't convert them.
I mean, speaking of those opportunities, but for a couple of fantastic saves from their goalkeeper, we could be talking about a couple of goals for ourselves and a completely different storyline come the end of the game. But again, it's those kind of fine margins, I suppose, between winning and losing. Oh,
absolutely, and we've been in that scenario a few times this season where the result could have been quite different. But look, it's done now, and we've just got to look to next week, and we've got some tough tests coming up. We've got a lot of these top sides, and we're going down to Hastings, and that'll certainly be tough going down there, and they're a good side. But we just keep going, right? Five games left, and we've just got to get some wins. The positive really is we're going into these games, we're genuinely trying to get wins, not draws, etc. And I know that we need to do so, but I think the application of the players is to do that. And at this moment in time, we've had a debriefing there, but I can't criticise the players for all manner of reasons. I think they're a credit to themselves the way they're conducting themselves at the moment, given circumstances.
Just to finish, as you touched upon slightly there, it's back-to-back road games now for us, starting with Hastings and ending with Lewis. As you said, both clubs at the right end of the table trying to punch their way into that playoff situation. I suppose the challenge is always there to bounce back, or it'll be a difficult one at Hastings. But when obviously you're likely to not have Lawrence, I suppose Finn would be unavailable because of his loan deal with us from Hastings. So does that, in your minds, you're trying to think of or decide upon what the defensive lineup's going to look like going into that game?
Yeah, with Lawrence injured and if Finn isn't available, obviously I've not discussed that with Hastings yet. Look, if you're them, you try and stop him playing. I suppose I'd have to look through the loan agreement, whether there's anything written in there, and have that conversation with Hastings. But yeah, it leaves us short. We obviously can't sign anybody because the deadline's gone. But look, we just get on with things and cope, and it's a test of character. I said when I came here about that, we find out more about ourselves in these situations than probably we do when things are a little bit easier.
Obviously, yeah, just again to finish, just over 600 odd fans here today for non-league day. There's going to be about 40 to 50 fans a coach load going down to Hastings next Saturday. I think we've asked you this a couple of times already this season, but given how crucial every game is now between now and the end of the season, how important is it that those kind of numbers sort of consistently stay there, and that the backing is as fierce as it is at the best of times?
Yeah, look, I wasn't aware of the crowd today in terms of those numbers statistically, but it's revenue that the club needs at this moment in time, so that's certainly a positive. And for that many fans to be going down to Hastings is quite admirable, really. And I hope that they sense that we're doing all we can on the pitch to give them the days out that they want and they deserve.